studio. Oops.
Hey, everybody.
No, I didn't mean that. Shh. You're on.
Hi, everybody. It's Georgia Rose, and welcome to the Soul Space. Must be Monday night at 7 o'clock because we are in the Soul Space. And guess what? I have a special, extra, supercalifragilistic surprise for you guys. This guy's sitting right next to me. Who is he? He's my very good friend, John Moneta. And we're going to talk a little bit tonight about his journey in the spiritual world and some things that have brought him to get readings and all kinds of stuff. And first, before that, I have a couple of announcements to make. So I hope that you guys are all keeping Sunday, August 8th available because we have an amazing event at Paradise Studios here in Massapequa. It is a Lionsgate activation and reading event. We're going to do some Reiki and readings. It's $22 if you go on the strongisland.com website and do advance tickets. After that, if you show up at the door that day, you're going to pay $33. So you better get your advance tickets if you want to save. And it's going to be a great night with myself and Joanne from Joanne's Healing Within, which is a Sunday night at Sunday afternoon show. And so, welcome to the Soul Space tonight. I've also got a lot of other things to announce. On August 2nd, I got to check my dates here. On August 2nd, we have Jake Cooper, that's next Monday, coming on the show. And Jacob Cooper is an author. He is someone who has had a past life experience. And he is also the author of a brand new book that's on the bestseller list. You can get on Amazon called Life After Breath. So Jake's going to be here to talk about his own near-death experiences. And if any of you have a near-death experience, Jake can talk to you about it. And I suggest definitely downloading his book. You can get it on Kindle. And that's book is Life After Breath, about his near-death experience. And Jake is actually a local guy from Massapequa, Long Island. So definitely tune into the show and hear his story. So I want to talk a little bit about astrology before we talk to my buddy here, John. We've got the sun in Leo, right? The sun just went into Leo. That changes up the energy a little bit for us. Leo is fire and passion and loves the spotlight. So going from Cancer to Leo, our sun definitely feels a lot more powerful, and you probably feel a lot more energy out in the world. Things are definitely heating up and speeding up. The moon is in Pisces today, which is a water sign, and usually makes us a little bit more intuitive. So if you're getting any hunches, I would definitely follow them. Mercury is still in Cancer, but that's going to move also to Leo in a few days. And the big change is we have Venus going into Virgo. Venus is actually in Virgo at around 5 degrees. Venus going from Leo to Virgo is a huge shift. Venus in Virgo is fussy. It is the energy that shows you what is bothering you, what's irritating you, what's wrong. Venus in Virgo is the energy that will look at a freshly painted wall and find the spot you missed. So if you have some things that are irritating you, this is the week they're going to come out. And then finally, when Venus moves a little bit further into that sign, I'd say in another couple of weeks and into the end of September, you're going to want to take action on whatever that is that's irritating you or whatever's come out in your life. So the energy right now is one of a little bit of discomfort, a little bit of irritation, maybe a little fussiness, but it's actually happening so that you get the information you need to know how to proceed. So something's going to come out, might push your buttons, might make you a little cranky, but in the end, it's revealing information that is going to give you the energy and the information that you need to move forward in your life. So I'm going to share our show. I do have some people online here. Let me just go to Facebook. And should have done this before, but I've been so busy talking to my friend John. We were having so many great laughs.
This guy's sitting right next to me.
Having so many great laughs before the show. So I want to share the show. Okay, go back. So now I want to introduce John. John Bonetta is a very good friend of mine. I've known John, how many years have we known each other?
It's got to be 5-6 years at least.
5 or 6 years. I'd say more than that probably.
You're probably right.
Maybe like 7.
Yeah.
Lucky 7.
You know
We're
what?
having our 7th anniversary.
You know, you're right. It is 7 years. You're
So
right.
for everyone out there who thinks that men and women can't be friends, John and I are living proof. And so we'll talk about friendship a little bit too, because I think friendship is hard work. And I always say, like, friendship is hard work because you got to show up. So John doesn't like it when I don't return a phone call.
That's not true.
As we said on a different show.
I know.
I
we
was
said
guest starring on another show, and he called, and he's like, I don't like it when people don't show up. It was pretty funny. But anyway, so I met John, and John, it was very strange because from the moment I met John, I got a vibe. And so this is a great example of trusting your intuition, right?
Right. Absolutely.
When you have a hunch about somebody, like, go with it, let it flow. And it was strange because we went out to dinner one night. We were friendly. I think we actually met through social media. We were friendly.
Yes.
And we went out to dinner. And at that dinner, tell them a little bit about what just started happening.
Well, we were talking, and I had no idea that there was a Georgia Westcott and a Georgia Rose. And
Right.
she proceeded to tell
My
me
legal name, my earthbound life.
she proceeded to tell me the differences, and I was sitting there and I was amazed. And then, as we were talking, the dinner's progressing, she says to me, "Do you know what an empath is?" So I said, "Well, I think I do, but tell me." I really didn't have a clue, but I just told her I did, right? So anyway, she proceeds to tell me what an empath is, and I'm listening and listening and listening, and putting all that information upstairs. And then we start talking, and she's telling me about, how she knew, and she's telling me her journey. And I'm listening to her journey. And then, I don't know how it came up, but she wasn't reading me. She says, I don't read people. She says, when I sit down. She says, I've learned how to, tune it out, let's say.
And I have a thing, my integrity level as a reader, as a psychic is, I never just read people, they have to invite me in. Because I never want to go in someone's energy unless they're ready for me to do that or open to it. And a lot of times, you'll see things or you'll get a message on something, and it's really not appropriate to just blurt it out to somebody. I would never do that.
So anyway, we're progressing with the dinner, and like she just said, she would never read you unless you ask. So I said to her, you know what? Read me. And she proceeds to tell me something. Now, here's how I knew she was, and I call it the real deal. Because there's a lot of charlatans out there, that's my word for them. There's nickel and dime people on every street corner trying to tell you your horoscope and your future. She tells me something, and what she told me, there were only 2 people in the world that knew. And we had no conversation about what she's about to tell me. She told me something that only 2 people in the world knew. One was me, and the other was my father. My father had passed on. And those were the only 2 people. Now, what she told me, okay, I can't reveal, and I won't reveal, and it doesn't matter, okay? But right then and there, I knew that she was the real, everything she's telling me as we're sitting to dinner, I said, wow. I was like.
I had no idea. I'm just like telling them what I'm getting,
Yeah, I was like totally shocked that how could this woman that, across the table from me, having a nice dinner with her, we're talking, tell me this, that. She doesn't know my father. My father's been passed on for years already at that point. And I'm saying, wow, so.
But he was having dinner with us.
Yeah. And he was having dinner with us. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. But anyway, that started to make me think more about everything. I've always been very open-minded about it, but I was really starting to get into it. But when she did it, and here I am, now I have a friend that's into it, and that started everything that proceeds to where I am today, I would say.
Right. And it's funny, and the reason why I wanted John to tell that story is because that's almost like the same thing that happened to me years before. Someone just at a cocktail party, idly just mentioned, my father had just passed. This is going back a long, long time ago, and idly just mentioned, oh, I have this medium you should go see. And I was like, go see a medium? Those people are out of their minds. And then went to this medium out east, and it was like I had tea with my parents, and then I started to open and realized the ability that I had been suppressing all my life. And so it's really interesting. I feel like we have these angels, I like to call them angels,
Yep.
that like just open us and bring us to a place.
It's a validation is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, being with you, that time, that place, was a validation.
Total synchronicity.
Yeah, and I believe everything happens for a reason. No
Yeah.
one can tell me any difference. I'll use a worst case scenario, okay? But I think it takes place all over the place. Like, you look at 9/11, okay?
Yeah.
You look at all the people that perished. Now look at all the people that survived by not going to work that day. You hear the stories. They were in traffic. They got up late. This happened. That happened.
Right.
I believe that was meant for them not to go to work. Their time on this planet, let's call it this realm, whatever you decide to call it, wasn't up. So that's why I believe there's things happen for a reason. You don't always know the reason.
No.
You may never know the reason.
And we humans question everything.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
We question sometimes too much to where it plays a head game with us.
Right, right.
So you just gotta. I think it's hard. It sounds easy, go with the flow, but you have to learn how to
comments.
just keep going, just keep moving. Especially if you want to learn the different things about spirituality. If you want to get into astrology, if you want to get into
You'll
reading
find
cards,
your place.
Yeah, you will find your place. Doesn't happen in your time. It happens when the time is right.
And I'm so glad you said that, because when I first started to open and really realize, I have this ability, I want to expand on it, I always said I was like Julia Roberts in Eat, Pray, Love without the international travel. I just started to it was a big, somebody put a buffet in front of me, and I was like, oh, let me try this, let me try Reiki, let me try, angels, let me try. And that was how I found my way.
You'll know when your time is right. I mean, I've been, let's say Georgia met her 7 years ago. She has a lot to do with me looking into other things. She's introduced me to certain other people that I've met, in this business, like I've met through Georgia a couple of years ago on a show. I met Lois T. Martin, who I've become very, very,
she was
very.
one of my guests.
Yeah, she was a guest, and we become very much friends. I mean, she's a numerologist, so now you start to learn about numbers. But before, all you kept hearing was people talking about numbers,
right?
And you didn't have a clue, and you never saw a number, or you saw the numbers, but you didn't know, like 111, 222, 333.
What does it all mean? I'm going crazy.
Exactly. You see people posting it. Okay, so there's meanings for those numbers, but you didn't know about it. So that's like a whole nother thing that you look into.
Right.
And like Georgia, she reads cards. Then there's people that read specific type of cards.
Right.
Like a show.
And I read cards. I don't need the cards. Like, it developed. Like, at first I needed the cards for everything.
Right.
And then I don't. And I know, talking about cards now, tell us a little bit about what you just started to do.
Well, I just started to read angel cards. Okay? And the way, to me, I call it validation, the way it was. I'm listening to a show a couple of weeks ago, and somebody was on the show.
Right.
And what I didn't know, and I've been, maybe people
Was
out
that
there.
the show I was on, or the one different
Yeah,
one?
well, it started with the
Okay.
show you were on.
Because I was a guest on Lois Martin's show with some other psychics.
So I'm listening to the show, and all of a sudden I hear on the show that you don't have to be an empath or have any psychic. Well, everybody has psychic ability, so I don't want to say that, but you have to develop it. But you don't have to be someone special to learn how to read cards. And I said, really? And I had been thinking about learning how to read cards, and I wasn't sure what kind of cards I was supposed to read. The week before, I found a deck of tarot cards, and somebody by the name of Kimba told me, wow, you have a deck that's that old? This deck has to be 50, 60 years old.
Now, what do you mean you found a deck?
I found the deck in my drawer.
Really?
Yes. I obviously knew I had it, but had forgotten that I had it.
Wow.
I was looking for something, and I pulled out this deck,
And when did you originate these? Like, when did they come?
Oh God, at least it had to be 50 years ago.
So you were always, curious.
Yes, but I never,
Like, say you were psychic curious.
but I never developed anything through it. I never thought about it.
Right.
So now here I got these cards, and I'm saying, okay. Following week, somebody else was on the show, and I asked a question, and I don't remember the exact what she said to me, but I don't want to. So I don't want to go verbatim. But right then and there, I knew that I had to read angel cards.
So you trusted your intuition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've always been big with angels, and that's something that's always been around me, and I've always believed it. And
Same here.
Yeah, and you learn about angels, and you don't have to know them all, but you know they're there. Some people call them spirits. I like to call them angels.
And I think angels are a great way to start because the angelic energy is so happy and joyful and pure.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes, like in the beginning, you're a little nervous, you're a little like, oh, should I be doing this? And the angels, I feel like they give us confidence.
Absolutely. And then I didn't know what kind of deck to buy or anything. So there had been a guest that was on a show, and I texted her because I had all her information. Her name was Kimba, and she gladly texted me right back. Before I knew it, we were having a conversation within a week. Okay, when her time was right in mine, we did like a Zoom thing for like over an hour and a half, and she's
Wow.
telling me all about cards and everything. And
Oh my gosh, that's so generous of her.
yeah, it was because there was a connection there.
Yeah.
There was a connection.
And don't you find, like, this is a story you're telling, because I think there's so many of us out there that can relate, that as this happens and unfolds, it's like you're just being led wherever
Yes.
you're supposed to go.
Absolutely.
And that's why I use the analogy of the movie Eat, Pray, Love,
Mm-hmm.
because in that movie it was so well done the way Julia Roberts was actually led to every step.
Yeah.
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 There's a whole orchestration going on. We just don't know about it.
Exactly. So now all of a sudden, I'm talking to her, and I knew we were talking about which decks to buy and everything, and I bought myself a deck. So what I do now is what I do is I turn a card for myself every morning.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm
love
saying?
that. Yep.
And she told me, listen, you just go with your intuition. Just keep going with your intuition. You're developing it. Your intuition will take you far.
That's very true.
You don't have to read a book to say, what Michael the Archangel. Yes, it's nice to know what Michael the Archangel is all about, but if you turn his card, you don't have to read verbatim off of a card. If you want to, that's great.
And I think
that's good.
Right. And I think a good
yeah.
thing to do is when you get that energy, like sit quietly and what is it to you?
Right.
Because there's energy that I interpret a certain way that another psych or another reader or another person is going to feel differently.
Right.
And that happens a lot, oftentimes because I read psychically and I've developed my own dictionary.
Right.
So sometimes I'll read for another reader and they'll say that's not what that card means, but that's what it means to me.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I say you could read it, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But the cards that I bought, they only have one word on them. So, and the whole idea of it only having one word is to make you, like Georgia was just saying, develop your intuition,
Right.
what you're hearing psychically
Right.
to put out there
Yeah.
to the person, to yourself, whoever you're reading for. But this is like, you could say it was a 7-year journey to this point. Okay, I don't know where the next point is, and it doesn't matter to me because whatever's going to come,
Enjoy that
will
moment,
come.
be fully
Yes.
present in it,
Yeah.
because the more we're fully present in the journey, we realize that's really what it is about.
Yeah.
It's not always the goal, it's about what's happening as you get there.
Yeah, and you know what? And I don't know if I had a goal. All I knew was I wanted to do something.
Right.
And I wanted to progress.
And Spirit's speaking to you.
Absolutely. I totally believe that. I see signs now. I do certain things that people tell me, that people taught me, not told me. They say if you want, every morning, keep a log. If you come across a number today, write the date, write the number.
Right.
And there's other signs. I mean, there's animals that you see every day that you cross. If you go hiking in the woods or just come across you. I've seen animals that you'd say, how did you see that there? At the most, weird places,
right.
All of a sudden I'll see a crow sitting on a lamppost looking at me. What is that? How's that crow there?
Right.
And
there are signs,
yeah.
there are omens.
Yes.
Like with animals, like
Yes.
signs are something that maybe is not so extraordinary. But then when you see an animal doing something extraordinary, it's an omen.
Yeah.
I remember one time when I was first on my journey, I was driving home. At the time I had a convertible and it was nighttime. And my headlights were on and I pulled into one of these streets and all of a sudden there was a fox standing in the road staring at me. Like I actually had to stop the car. And foxes are not going to stand in the road and stare at you.
No.
So I ran home and I I went to the book Animal.
Oh, yeah,
stuff
yeah,
by
oh, yeah,
Steve,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
somebody Stevens. I
Oh
can't.
yeah,
My mind's not
I
right
got
now.
to say that.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
I went in and I read, "What is a fox? What is a fox?"
Yeah.
And those are such exciting things that happen, and just really enjoy them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I have that book that she's talking about.
Yeah.
And I got a
Ted
block
Stevens, I
right
think it
now.
is, yeah.
Okay, I have it right in my living room on the side.
I do too.
And every time, like if I'm all of a sudden I see something, I'll look, read up a little bit on it because it's a reference book. It's not a book.
It's a reference book. Yeah.
It's not a book that you take and you start page 1 and you go to page 400. No, you're not going to read that book.
No.
You're not going to retain anything doing it that way.
Yeah.
It's if you see something, you go back, you open the book up, you
Right.
look at the index, and then you read what it's about. The
The same with the
interpretation.
crystal. I have some on the crystal Bible, and I look at what's this crystal,
Yeah, and so it's amazing.
And then all of a sudden you're an expert after 10 years of doing that.
But it's been, in a sense, it's been a 7-year journey.
Yeah.
And it really started in a sense when I met Georgia. Did I think about it before? Not the way I think about it today. And but the other part of it is you have to be a good person. The thing that I've learned the last couple of years, is you have to have gratitude for everything. And it's not the big things; it's everything. I mean,
Yep.
here's a bottle of water. I mean, I'm grateful I have this bottle of water to
Right.
drink. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's the electricity that's in your house. It's the plumbing.
And it's
yes.
so appropriate that you say that, because when I started on my journey, I think there's a lot of people out there that I had just had this conversation earlier today with someone, how we don't, no one runs to church when they're having a party. We run to church, we seek God, we seek spirituality when we're in adversity, deprivation, on the balls of our ass, however you want to call it. So when something's missing from our life, that's when we run to church, we run to God, we say, God help me. So sometimes in that experience, I know there's a lot of people out there that might be in grief or might be in loss or just lost in their life. And the way you start to come back from that, and I know this was true for me, I know it's true what you're saying, is the gratitude. And I remember, it sounds really corny, Oprah always says keep a gratitude journal, but she's absolutely right. And I remember after I had very tragic losses, and I started to keep a journal of just things I was grateful for. And it's like you say, the first day I had to sit for 15 minutes to even just find something to be grateful for. And then I would write down the sun. And I remember, now, even to this day, I'm so grateful for certain things, and taking a moment to pause
Oh, yeah.
and be in that presence, because one of the things that brought me back, and I'll never forget this as long as I live, from grief and from, very severe loss, was my dog at the time was new to me. I hadn't had a dog in many years, and I got Sparky, and I was really in a very bad moment, and Sparky just came into the room and brushed his fur against my leg. And in feeling that sensation, I felt joy bubble up in me. And that's when I knew, okay, I'm going to survive this somehow, because I remembered what it felt like. And then you take that in
Yeah.
to the glass, the bottle of water, the blueberries in the cereal.
Everything.
You just become, because we all have a time in our life, or some are in this time now, when it literally feels like someone turned the lights out in the world, and things get very dark. And it's never going to be a grand gesture or a lightning bolt that brings us back. Some people will talk about, like Jake will talk about his near-death experience next Monday. Those things happen to people very rarely. For most people, it's something small that starts to bring
Yep.
you back. You hear something, you have a dinner with somebody, and they say something that just
Yeah.
sparks you.
Resonates, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I always call that the army of angels that saved my life. And
Absolutely.
just like we met and we've become
Yeah.
good friends, and
Yeah.
then that led you on a path, and you met other people through that path. For me, that
That's
was
it.
my yoga teacher. When I started to go
Yeah.
to yoga, I met all these people. And so whatever it is, I think, definitely encourage people out there.
Oh.
Just get off the couch and start, letting it flow.
Like you talk about the gratitudes. I do my gratitudes twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. I do it before I get out of bed
So
in the
now,
morning.
what's a typical gratitude for you?
Life. I mean, the first thing is I wake up every morning. I open my eyes. I have that gift.
Yeah.
I got that
You're
gift.
here.
I'm in the present. After that, I could just keep going on, and I go on. My family, my friends. The food I have on the table. I made it to retirement. I'm still around after so many. Everybody has mishaps in their lives. Whoever, hospitalizations and whatnot.
Always,
I'm
yeah.
gratitude that I walked away from it. I'm gratitude that let's face it, the money I made or whatever, to pay my bills, to pay my rent. You know, that you can go on and on and on. Your family, you know, my
Right.
children, you know.
Just find something.
Yeah, there's plenty there for you. If you think about it, there's plenty there. Everything that you have in life is a gratitude. And I know that this is going to sound maybe, even things that didn't go well for you, okay, turned out to be.
They happen for you.
Yes, yes, and there's something to say about that in a gratitude. You know,
So
that
now-
showed you another doorway, another path.
So now I just want to back up a second now. When you started to just, things start to turn over and you start to practice gratitude, how did that change your life? Like, did you see certain things start to fall away or just your attitude change?
Well-
like, what changed?
Your attitude changes. I tell you what, people, you know, your friends change.
I want you to talk about that a little
Your
bit.
friends change. You think there's people that you know, in life, and you think they're your friends. They're not really your friends. You know.
So do you think you were more open to seeing the negative, that you were
Not
like
at-
living in it?
Not at the moment. Not at the moment, okay? It develops because
Right.
what happens is when you start to have these gratitudes, and I'll give it, a smaller example. And I didn't realize it, and I started it like 5-6 years ago. And the reason why I know it was 5-6 years ago, because it comes up on my Facebook, on my social media. Every morning now what I do is I get up, the first thing I do when I get up is I look for a good morning vibe or something. And I post it. And it goes on Instagram.
I
and
see
it
your
goes
posts. They're
on
so amazing.
Facebook.
Anyone who's friends with John Moneta on Facebook, do it if you're not, because his post will set your day. He's very positive.
And that's what I do, and I realized that, I just put like 3 or 4 of them out there. Good morning. Then, there's so many places you could look. Power of Positivity, Tiny Buddha. I mean, and then when when you're thumbing through on the internet, wow, that makes a lot of sense. You snap, I'm not taking anybody's credit for it, but I think people need to hear it and see it.
Share it, yeah.
Yes, and share it. And I realized the other day that I've been doing this for like 5-6 years.
A long time. And you've got like a little posse now.
Yeah.
Every morning, I think we wait for your posts.
So those, at first I was doing it for me.
Right.
Okay, because it felt good that I'm reading something that made a lot of sense, that helped my day go.
Yeah.
Okay?
But look at what you put out in the world.
And then all of a sudden somebody's coming back and they're giving you a reply. I needed that today. So
Law of attraction.
there it is. And other people enjoy it. It changes their day. If you can do one thing, if you reach one person a day and change their life, or change their,
huge.
not even change their life, change their day to a better day, that you've done something in
That's
your life.
our purpose. Our
you know.
purpose is here to be here for each other.
And I don't need to know who I affect, It's just knowing that you're trying to help somebody.
Right.
And you'd be
that
surprised.
comes back. It's that
Yeah.
boomerang.
You get that validation somewhere along the line. Somebody's going to text you back or answer you, like private message you and say thank you.
Right.
I needed that. And you know how that makes you feel, that you reached that person?
Yep, people are saying they love your posts.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking down at the comments. I can't be rude to John, but I can't be rude to you guys who are tuning in.
Yeah.
So let's open the phone lines. Bobby, my producer, we're going to open the phone lines with questions for John. See, we're very professional here at Strong Island. I came in, I'm like the wrecking ball. Miley Cyrus has nothing on me. So, so we'll open the phone lines. The Soul Space phone line is 516-945-9099. If you have questions for my buddy John, and ladies, he's single. You'll never find a better guy than John. I just embarrassed you, didn't I?
That's okay. I'm used to
You
being
can live
embarrassed.
with it,
Yeah, I
right?
can live with it. For you, Georgia, I can
And
live
he's a
with
good cook, too. Good cook. So now, the other day we talked about your angel cards. How are you doing with that? You were saying you have the ones with the one word on it. You're opening?
I like it. I mean, like I say, every morning, is after I send out my, my vibes on, Instagram and
Right.
everything. I sit down, I shuffle my cards. I thank my
universe.
angels. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thank my angels, and I don't care what religion you are. It doesn't make a difference. I think everybody has to believe in something. So
Back up and say that again.
it doesn't matter what religion you're in. I think everybody has to believe in something.
Everybody has to believe in something.
We got here somehow.
That's right. What is our creator?
Exactly. So, it doesn't matter, what you believe in, but you got to believe in something, and it just makes a world of difference,
I'm sorry, I had to move something.
Got your fan going?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's so funny because
But, yeah.
the last studio I was in, I used to have to bring a heater because it was
Oh.
freezing, In this studio, I have to bring a fan. The things you don't know. I'll bet you that, like, who's one of the ones on Fox News? Kelly, what's her name? Megyn Kelly. She has her own show now. I'll bet you Megyn Kelly has stuff going on under the desk that you guys don't even know about.
Oh, you'd be surprised. Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I read my cards every morning. I read, right now I'm pulling for myself, and I have pulled for one or two people. But I get a lot of enjoyment out of it, and that's something that I'll continue. I'll
I think
always
you
do it.
should. I think
know.
you're going to get a lot more hits and everything.
Yeah, no.
So now I have a question for you. I don't know if you'll have an answer, but I'm going to try. What was the most, I don't even know what the word to use, but what was the most unbelievable thing that's ever happened to you spiritually? Like something you just couldn't explain, but you knew it was either your angel or something that just, it was like uncanny. Because I know you get a lot of signs.
Georgia, I'm going to go back to it, and I'm not saying it because I'm here
Yeah.
on your show, and we are friends.
Right.
The most uncanny thing that ever happened to me was when you read me that day.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that to be your answer at all.
No, and I'm not just saying that.
I swear.
Have I had things happen to me? Yeah, I've gotten signs that my father was around.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was him at the beginning, but when it's funny. I just said that, and here I am. I'm grabbing onto this.
Right, and we just heard that sound because your mic just got reverb.
And this was my father's.
Right,
So
I know.
just
I knew that.
I just happened to touch it.
I can feel it.
So I know when he's around.
Yeah.
I just have
And
that
such
feeling.
a strong energy too.
Yeah,
It's such a strong energy.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Well, thank you for that. That's beautiful.
No, and that's.
We
because
never know what lives we're changing. We just never know.
That got me. I was on a path, but that really jolted me further.
That gave you a clear windshield.
Yeah. And then when I retired a couple of years ago, there was more time to
Right.
do things. Because when
That's
you work,
important. That's an important thing to elaborate on.
if when you're working, I worked a lot of hours and everything. You don't have time to do it.
You
Now
don't.
that I was retired, when I retired a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, I started to have more time on my hands. I started to read more. I started to listen more. I started to learn about all of this, And I only know that much in a world that's like
Myself
that.
as well. I've been studying astrology. Just that's one component of what I do, not even all I do. And I've been studying that for 12 years. And I feel now, I wish I was 20 because I don't have enough time in my lifetime to know everything. That's my main regret. Like I'm not fearful of dying or anything.
Right.
My only fear is like I'm not going to learn everything I want to learn before I leave.
Yeah, but you just got to. The other thing is you got to have patience.
Yeah.
Nothing happens right away, and then,
I find you have to have devotion and discipline as
Well,
well.
that's the other
like
part,
when
yeah.
you said something very important when you said you pick your card every morning, you're in gratitude every day. That takes a lot of devotion and a lot of discipline, and not everyone can do the work. And so I commend you because you're doing the work.
Well, you have to, and you know what it is. The more you do it, it becomes a habit.
Yeah,
And if you,
that is
for
true.
some reason, forget to do it, you're going to say, "Oh man, how did I forget? I got to do that."
Right.
It
It becomes a habit.
becomes a habit, and I didn't realize it. Like I said, I've been posting stuff, on social media for like 5 years already, 6 years. I see them come up now, and it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
that much time has passed.
Well, you have such a positive vibe, and I feel like people are attracted to that in life. There's so little of that now. We have so many people who put out the negative.
Yeah,
I
no.
even see that. Someone will put something negative out and they get 100 comments, but you put something positive and it's crickets.
No, you got
So
to.
people need to be more positive.
Absolutely.
So now I'm going to let you shuffle my angel cards and pick some.
Oh, that is an honor, because I know you don't let
So
anybody shuffle your cards.
and I love the fact that you found cards that were in your drawer for 50 years.
Yeah.
You were ignoring this for 50 years till he finally heard spirit. So
But
it's
those are
never
not
too
those
late.
are not my angel cards though.
I'm
Those
only
are,
kidding.
I know, but those are tarot cards.
Oh, well, you probably meant to learn tarot. I'm going to go to our comments. Let's see what we have in the house. I forgot to check the comments so much. I was looking down a little bit. But John's such an interesting character. So we've got Janine and Joanne, Gina Marie. We've got Christina, Nancy, Aaron, David, Monica, Chris Cole. Hey, Chris. I got Gina Coffin. Love you, Gina. Aaron's watching. I've got everybody here now. Kristen, shout out to everybody. If anybody has anything they want to ask about, I got Gerard. It's never too late for learning, says Gerard. Christine asks, before you work with cards, do you say a prayer of protection?
Yes, absolutely. The first thing I do when I pick up the cards before I even shuffle them, okay, I put them to my heart, and I make a gratitude out of it that I have these cards and I'm able to read it. Okay, and when I'm done with the cards, I have the same ritual.
Right.
That's what I do. Now I have to tell you something. Now Georgia just gave me her cards to shuffle, and that really is an honor because a lot of people will not give you
No.
their cards to shuffle.
I would never give him my tarot deck
Because
or my soul card deck.
No,
but
no,
my
be-
angels I will share with you.
But because you don't want you want your energy on your cards.
yes.
So this means a lot, believe me, that she gave me these cards to shuffle for her.
But
Because
John
I know
has the
it.
purest energy, So I want you to pick whatever card you want for yourself today. You cannot make this stuff up. He was just talking about how he went to the angel cards and he picks one every day in the gratitude, and he gets Archangel Raphael, which is a healing angel, and he gets angel therapy. So there you go. We have a phone call, and it says, "Give your cares and worries to us angels and allow us to take your burdens." And that's what he was doing every day.
It's so true. George is saying you can't make this stuff up.
We have
You
a
really
caller,
can't.
so we're going to go. You can't make it up. Hi, welcome to the Soul Space. Who am I talking to?
It's Joanne.
Hey, Joanne. How are you?
Good. How are you?
We are good tonight. We've got John in the house.
I see.
We're having fun. So do you have a question or comment? Is something for John?
Hi.
Hi, Joanne. How are you?
For either one of you, you can pick an angel card for me.
Oh, I'm going to let John do it. It'll be your first reading on in the Soul Space. I'm going to put this one right here because
You want
to
mine?
put it in?
Yeah, put it back in the deck.
Okay.
Put it back.
And the angel that he picked had like the world in their hands. So it's just the world is opening with the angel cards. I'm having so much fun on the show tonight.
We're having fun. That's the whole idea. You got to have fun. Life's too short.
Kristen says, "I've been looking for a job again. I'm absolutely heartbroken. Brought me back, but found my crystals. So need guidance." Kristen, I'm sorry that you're going through that, and we all have times like that. So just hang in there. We'll get to you in a second. Let's pick a card for Joanne.
And here's Joanne's card. Prioritize.
Prioritize. Archangel Metatron, Joanne, and it says, "Focus on your highest priorities. I will help you get organized and motivated." And I don't know if you guys can see this on camera, but this card, I'll put it on down here so that maybe Bobby can switch camera for me. This is so purple and violet, this card, and she has in her hand this beautiful like cup with violet light coming out of it. And it says, "Focus on your highest priorities. I will help you get organized and motivated," like John said. So what do you think about that card? I think she's got to focus on herself.
Yeah, I focus on herself, focus on the world around her. Listen, I know you have children, and I know your children are a big part of your life, but sometimes myself too, I love my kids to death, but sometimes we have to put ourselves first. I'm not saying that's the case with you, but you have to look at, you know what, you do what would you call it? You do a I can't think of the word.
Self-evaluation.
That's it. You do a self-evaluation of
I'm
yourself.
psychic.
Well, that's it. That's the word I was looking for. Self-evaluation. You do a self-evaluation, Joanne, of yourself, and you see
And here's the card
what
you're gonna-
what you're prioritizing, what you need to prioritize, and you go from there.
And look at all the purple in that card. And for me, purple is healing. But the fact that this angel has all this purple around her, Joanne, I really think that you need to change your focus into yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like you've got a lot of things that are coming to you, but they're being blocked by your concerns for others. And I know that sounds contradictory to being spiritual, but sometimes if we don't take care of us, then we really can't take care of other people and be there for them.
No, you're absolutely right, and it goes back to the same thing. You're on a plane, right? And,
Yeah, that's the old analogy.
And the oxygen drops. Who do you put it on? Yourself or your children first? You put it on yourself, and then you put it on your children.
Right.
But 99 people out of 100 would say no. You got to put it on your children.
Right.
Wrong answer. But there's prioritizing right there.
So did you hear what we're saying, Joanne? Hello?
Yes, yes, I heard. I'm sorry. I was trying to write thank you to you.
So that's what you got to do. And also, I feel like you need to find some kind of a ritual, whether that's going to mass or a walk in the park or whatever, just being in quiet every day. I feel like you need to really tune in and ground yourself. Like there's a lot going on around you. So just take that with you, okay? And we
Okay.
love you. Everybody in
Thank you.
everybody in the soul space, send some love to Joanne. We're going to send her some love. All right. I want to just go back to Kristen because I know she's in challenge right now and she needs some guidance. She says she's absolutely heartbroken. Sometimes when we have and I'm going to have John pick a card for you, but first I just want to talk and tell you what I'm getting. Sometimes when we have a career change, a job change, and we have a situation where, like, it's almost like a domino effect and nothing seems to be clicking for us, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means Spirit's kind of rerouting us, you know? I've had that happen in my own life, and then everything ends really well. But what we have to do is look up and really see and kind of think about, where am I being led, not where I've been. You know, it's sad when we things don't go our way, and if we stay in that and dwell in it, we miss the opportunity that comes. So the first thing I'm going to say to you, and what I'm getting for you, is definitely pick your head up and look forward. So John, pick a card for her, and then we have someone else coming in on the phone that we'll
Somebody's
get.
telling me pick it from the middle.
Yeah, they do that sometimes.
Yep. Leadership.
See, yeah, this says leadership. And it's Archangel Gabriel, Kristen. I hope you're still there. So Archangel Gabriel, and this is kind of confirmation, because he's
Yeah.
always messages.
Yes.
And I'm saying, like, you have to really think about the forward momentum. Especially now we have planets that are really, you know, Aquarius energy, which is all forward. So don't be heartbroken about the past. Let it go. Release it. We just had a beautiful full moon Friday. Great for releasing. Release the energy of loss. I lost a job. I'm looking for one again, etc. And go into the energy of, that was taken away from me, or that is gone because I'm supposed to move on to something better. And the card Archangel Gabriel that I picked for you is a beautiful card, and a message about really tuning into the messages and knowing that there is a message there, and what's happening is happening for you, not to put you in detriment. And the words on the card read, "It is time for you to assume your leadership power and position and lovingly guide others." And it's just like that John just said about the oxygen mask. First, we got to guide ourselves. So ground yourself, know there's great things coming, step out of the heartbreak, and get into that mode where you're really seeing the opportunities that are coming in for you. I think you really have to do that. I hope that helps you today and gives you some guidance. Because sometimes I think we're just rerouted, and we don't realize that, you know, what's happening is actually a good thing. We just go into the loss and we don't see the good stuff, you know. So let's see. Elaine Risotto is on from It's All in the Reading Tarot. We're going to have her on the show too, Elaine. We have to make a date. Please, please, please call me after the show. And Bonnie says she needs some guides. Just found out today her son has a stage 3 melanoma. That's a tough one. Wow. Well, the first thing I'm going to say to that, Bonnie, is let's surround you. Anyone who's in the soul space tonight, online or watching or listening, if we can just kind of think about a green light, beautiful green aura, and ask Archangel Raphael to come in and send that energy to Bonnie and her family tonight. I want to just really, really send that to you and bathe you in beautiful green healing. One of the things I'm going to say to you, Bonnie, is when you are in challenge with anything health-wise, very important to focus on healing, health. When I had cancer, it was on a certain area of my body, and I refused to be in that area of my body. I always focused on my healthiness. So that's the first thing. Don't allow a doctor's diagnosis. You know, do what you think is best, but don't allow what they say to be the final word. We have control over ourselves, and we have control over whether we're going to heal or not heal. I truly believe that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. Follow the medical advice. But also stay in a mindset of, you can heal this and it will be healed. All right?
You have to stay positive.
I have to stay positive. And we're going to send that beautiful healing and love out to you tonight from everyone in the Zenkuda community. And let's pick a card for Bonnie and her son. Compassion. Archangel Zadkiel, who is a very powerful angel. Soften your heart with respect to the situation and all the people involved, including yourself. And what I'm going to take that as meaning, Bonnie, because there's so much light in this card, beautiful golden light and violet light. What I'm going to say for this is sometimes when something like this happens, we get angry. We just feel like, geez, how could this happen? You know, especially to someone that is our child. And it's really important for us to soften that and go into the healing mode. And I know you can do that. So I'm going to leave you with that tonight, and we're all going to send you some beautiful energy. And please keep in touch with us on the show and let us know how things progress. Going to look at more in the comments. Love and prayers. Everyone's sending you love and prayers for your son, Bonnie. Chris Cole's husband is having a biopsy on Thursday. Let's send him healing energy as well. Let's pick an angel card for Chris and her husband. You're good at this, John.
Thank you.
You got the angel therapy card. That was John's card when he first picked.
Yeah.
So that's Archangel Raphael. So Chris, that is the healing angel. So your husband has definitely got healing energy around him. So let's hope the best for that biopsy. And Joanne said she went to Mass today. See? That's good, Joanne. We told her to
You
go to
told
Mass
Mass.
and she went. That's so funny. Love and light to Joanne. Oh, there you go, Kristen. So definitely, keep that. We're going to send you prayers. Okay. So love and prayers to everyone. So we have about 5 minutes left on the show. Would you pick an angel card for me?
For you, absolutely.
I am honored. This is the first time John has ever picked an angel card for me. He's really shuffling them, folks.
Oh, yeah. I'll give him an extra shuffle.
I had so much fun with John on the show. If anyone out there wants to be a guest on the show, call me.
But you're getting 3.
I'm getting 3.
That's what it told me.
Spirit said.
1, 2, 3.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I'm going to cry because these cards say clairsentience, which is like what I do. It's, like clairvoyance, clairsentience. And it says, notice your recurring feelings and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. And I was emotionally guided to have you on the show tonight. So
Yeah.
that's confirmation for me. And outdoors, it's Archangel Jophiel. And Archangel Jophiel is actually the patron saint of Libra. And that's my sun sign. It says, go outside, get some fresh air, connect with nature to relieve stress. And I've been so wanting to do that. In the last couple of days, I've been stuck on Zooms. And then the third one is just a beautiful, beautiful card. It says gifts from God. And I feel like I'm going to cry because to me that is just the gratitude of having you here and so many people in this Includa community. And I feel like we all have this frequency, like you have a frequency and it's such gratitude. And when you put that frequency out in the world, you gather beautiful people around you.
Yeah, it's like you say, past, present, and future.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
So this is more gifts coming. It says, we angels bring you gifts from your Creator. Open your arms to receive. And I'm just going to open my arms tonight. I'm going to give you a big hug.
Yep.
And I'm hugging all of you guys out there in the Zenkuda community. I love you all. You're just all so special. We have so many things coming up this next few weeks. We're going to have John back on the show. If anybody wants to be on, you got to call and let us know. And you can PM me through Facebook, or most of you know where to find me. If you want a private reading or a healing session, you know where to find me as well. Sunday the 8th, definitely look into coming down to Paradise Studios because we have an amazing Lionsgate activation going on. Lionsgate is when the sun is in Leo and there's other planets. Sirius is one of them. Mm-hmm. That goes into Leo. It's actually when I have a little pyramid on my desk here, as you can see, and it's a crystal pyramid that a very dear friend gave to me. And Lionsgate 8/8 every year is actually when the star Sirius lines up with the pyramids in Gaza, Egypt.
Okay.
So it's said to be a really huge energy portal. So everybody needs to come down here that night, $22 online, $33 at the door, and come and share this beautiful energy and portal that we're going to do.
Should be an interesting night.
Yeah. So next week, tune in to Soul Space. We're going to have Jake Cooper, local guy from Massapequa. He's going to be talking all about his near-death experience and his beautiful book, Life After Breath. So I encourage all of you to breathe this week. Remember, the most important relationship you will ever have in your life is with your breath. It's the very first thing when you come into this world, and it's the very last thing you do when you go out. So today and every day after, make sure you are just breathing beautiful air and refreshing air in. Have a great evening, everybody, and a great week. I'll see you here Monday, 7 o'clock on the Soul Space on Strong Island Entertainment. Bye-bye.
Bye.